I feel bad for not filming a video last week. Welcome to week 14 of my CodeCrew Code School journey. Time is really flying. I feel like just last week I was learning JavaScript and now I'm writing React apps using JSX. It's insane. So for today's video, I mostly want to talk about my portfolio update, but I do want to touch on how the week went material-wise. So this week was really a review and practice kind of week. We focused on the MERN stack still. We've been in MERN stack for I think 3 weeks or something like that. We were focusing on the back end, so using MongoDB and Node and Express. And then we added in React last week, I think. And then this week we kind of brought the full stack together. And so we've been doing a couple projects where we build the back end and the front end, and then we've been doing a couple purely front end projects as well, where we're hitting an open API for our back end basically. So it's been an interesting week. I was getting really frustrated because we weren't learning any new material, and I didn't understand why it was such a pain to me to be doing the same thing every day. And it's just because we've been in a boot camp. I've been at a boot camp for 14 weeks, and the pace of a boot camp is incredibly fast. It's something new every day, sometimes 2 new concepts every single day. Go down to a more realistic pace where we're really honing in on a skill. Instead of just being comfortable with it, we're getting confident with it. And so even though I was a little frustrated this week with the pace, I think overall it's been incredibly useful to finally kind of camp out on something, especially because in the beginning we were learning really simple concepts back to back, and then recently we've been dealing with more complex things like Django and MERN. And so it's just been a really in-depth week of really practicing using the MERN stack, and I think it's been super useful. So now that that weird spiel is over, because we didn't learn any brand new concepts this week, I had some time to work on my portfolio. If you remember from my last video, I talked about Adobe XD, and I made a mock-up of a case study page, and I'll throw the mock-up on the screen. But I pretty much just wanted a way to give detailed information about a project when you click on it on my existing projects page. And so this week I went in to my static HTML project and actually coded up a template for the case study page. And then I also put in the information for one of my projects that I'm highlighting on my projects page, and link them up. So now if you click on the mock Wikipedia site, you're taken to the mock Wikipedia case study page. And I'm going to briefly kind of go over what's in the case study page, but it's obviously going to vary by project, but I want to keep the basic structure pretty similar. So we start with a main image. I'm not crazy about the legibility of my images in this case study page, but obviously my portfolio is always developing, and hopefully I figure out a better way to display the site. But I will have a main image, if not this one. Some quick facts, so the date that I worked on the project and the main programs that I used, and then sort of a brief description off to the side. So all of these things can be read or looked at in a 10-second span, right? So you get the picture, you get the main information, and then you get a brief description. And then under that is a longer description that talks about who the project is for, why I'm making it, and things like that. And I want that to be pretty similar for every projects page. Now past that is kind of a highlights section where I want to pull out specific things from the project that I either found really interesting or really difficult, or that I think I'll be able to apply to other projects or anything like that. and just talk about those things specifically. So for the Wikipedia page, I focused on the user profile, sort of. So this was my first full stack project, and I was using Django. So being able to create a user and that user can log in and see their specific posts and things like that was a really big step for me, so I wanted to highlight that. And I also wanted to highlight the ability to edit and delete and create posts, so kind of pulling in CRUD capability for the first time as well. So those are the two things I chose to highlight for this project. I want to add maybe one more, but for now, and again, legibility of images, not crazy about it, but for now I think this is a pretty good starting point. And like I said, I created a template first. I'll put the template on the screen. It's pretty much the same thing with like dummy text and dummy images, so that I have like a basic starting point, and then I can move some things around with my grids and things like that. So that's my portfolio update. And I don't have a whole lot for you guys this week, so that's pretty much it. But closing out, I do want to say that I created a tech Instagram. I wanted to establish like a professional social media presence so that I can kind of point people in a more casual direction than like a portfolio or my resume or something like that, and give them like the opportunity to see that I am coding, you know, for real, right? Because not every project makes it onto my portfolio, and not every skill makes it onto my resume. And so I wanted a place to really showcase the things that I might not be showcasing elsewhere, and also to pull in some of the big achievements that I am putting down on paper. So I'm gonna link my tech Instagram in the description. I've had it for about a week, but I just now made it public. So if you guys want to follow, that would be great. I think it's nice to kind of have your work out there. And it's also an opportunity for me to do a little bit of design here and there to kind of keep those skills alive. So I'm really excited about that. I plan to post twice a week. Once will be a story where I talk about something new and fun that I found out that week, and another will be an actual Instagram post where I showcase a project or an event or something like that. So shameless plug, and I think that's all I have this week. And as always, I will keep you guys updated.